Hey y'all, it is September 16th. It is 3:30. It is hot. It's 92 degrees right now. So deer movement's very small, but today we are in a conservation area that's about 15 minutes from my house. So I took care of some things this morning, and then I'm out here this afternoon, this evening. This conservation area has a lot of large meadows, small meadows. We're gonna hike up here, hopefully not drown in our sweat, and find a place mainly just to sit and watch and see what comes out. But if we're able to shoot something, that would be great too. Alright guys, we made it up in the tree. I'm about 12 to 15 feet up. I've got the meadow out in front of me, but I've got a lot of cover. So if anything walks this shady side of the meadow, then I'll be able to get it. I already jumped at least one deer back behind me. There's another meadow on that side. There's another meadow over to my left. Then there's a small patch of trees between me and another meadow out front. I'm hoping just to see something tonight. We know there's deer in here, so we'll see what happens. At the very least, it's a pretty day, pretty scenery, looking at all the leaves changing. Either way, it'll be a good night. Alright guys, I am back at my house. I had an interesting end to the evening. As soon as I climbed down from my stand, I started walking back up into the meadow to get back up to the trail. I was walking along and I turned my headlamp to the left just a little bit, and there were two glowing white eyes looking at me. So it was a deer, and that deer was less than 100 yards away from my stand, but it was in the corner and I was more in the middle of the meadow. So I was closer to my goal today than I was yesterday. A little disappointing, but a learning opportunity for me. But then I was hiking back down to the trailhead where my truck was parked, and as I got to within sight of the trailhead, this is what, 8:30 at night by the time I'm getting back. It's been dark for a while, but I got back to trailhead and there was a car parked there with its lights on, and that just kind of set me on edge a little bit, because you know, I've heard stories of people who don't like hunting trying to create problems, or more recently I heard the story of a different YouTuber by the name of Elk Shape, who had some existing circumstances going on, but when he came down to his truck at night, he had a couple vehicles on either side of his truck that were ready to jump him when he came down. So having all that in the back of my mind, I was a little paranoid about that, but I walked down to the truck and there were two guys in the car, and then there was their car that was on and running to my truck's right, and then my truck, and then there was another car to my left that was not running, but the keys were in the ignition, which just kind of, it felt very weird and out of place. I got on the phone with my wife and was just kind of talking to her on speakerphone and just kind of letting them know that I had somebody else there that I was talking to. A little bit of protection, a little bit of safety, letting them know it's not just me out there all by myself. I put all my stuff in my truck. Nothing serious happened, but it was definitely an interesting way to end the evening. Thursday evening, I'm hoping to hunt. I have an issue with my truck that I need to get figured out. So if I can get that figured out, then I will go hunting Thursday evening back to this spot, not the exact same spot, but to a slightly different area that I scouted out before. And then Friday, it is supposed to rain and drop about 10 degrees. So I'm hoping Friday will be a really good day. So I'm tentatively planning to be out there all day on Friday and see what happens. So stay tuned. Hopefully we get something. Thanks for watching.